Hi folks, welcome back to another video. It's always a pleasure to have you with me here. Today we're going back in time an unbelievable 42 years to December of 1983, and we're going to be looking back on what has now become known as the Asia concerts, when the band toured Japan in December of that year. And it was a spectacle at the time. Those of you who were around, maybe had MTV, would recall that it was the biggest satellite broadcast around the world to that time. It was quite the event. And the video cameras were rolling. MTV caught it, played it live, which was an astounding technological feat at the time. And thankfully for the rest of us, it has been preserved for posterity, and that's why we're here today. Some of you might recall that I actually did an unboxing for the set when it was originally released back in 2022. So why am I doing another unboxing? Well, at the time, that was actually the first YouTube video that I ever made, and suffice it to say, quality control hadn't quite kicked in, and it did have a few little rough edges that I wanted to smooth out. On another matter, BMG Music, which has lovingly put together this set, has graciously allowed me to use some background music, which you can hear playing alongside my voice, a couple of songs from the actual concert that evening, which have been remastered and remixed. We'll look at that again a little bit later. And finally, it's a bit of promotion for an upcoming event. The four members of Asia are going on tour in early 2026. So if you're watching this before February of 2026, the band is preparing to tour Japan, an extensive tour, where they are actually going to be playing the entire set list from the Asia shows to celebrate that period of the band. So a couple of reasons why I thought it was a good idea to revisit this unboxing and go through it again. Hopefully you'll find my presentation a little bit better this time around. For those of you who don't know me, again, my name's David Gallant. I'm Asia's official biographer, and I was at one point their webmaster as well. And some of you might actually have a copy of my book that was written back in the day. Here's one version of it. Sadly, it is, for the moment, out of print. We're looking to hopefully do something about that in the next little while, so stay tuned. If we can make it happen, we certainly will. Copies are always available, used copies, through different online sources. But it'd be awfully nice to have something brand new for you to look at, and we're going to have a look at that down the road. So today we're going to be having a look at this box set. One more time, I'm going to take you through the entire package. For an Asia fan, it's like Christmas morning. It is absolutely a wonderful set as a commemoration of the Asia concerts, and we'll take you through that in just a moment. Speaking for myself, actually I was born in Canada. And those of you who aren't aware, we didn't have MTV back in the day. So anybody who was an Asia fan living in Canada, as I was at the time, we were completely unaware that this was happening, not to mention all of the band drama that was going on surrounding the concerts. The first time I ever heard about it was, I believe, early in 1984. Some of you who are of my generation might remember Circus magazine, and in the back in the classifieds you could always find people selling what were known as audience recordings or live concert recordings, mostly euphemisms for bootlegs. And I saw a brand new release being advertised called Asia from 1983. I couldn't fill out a money order fast enough and send along my envelope, and next thing you know, I get this cassette tape in the mail. It says Asia 1983 December. Certainly the right band, but the singer sounded different, and it took me a little while to connect the dots that this was actually Greg Lake substituting, because we'd heard absolutely nothing about it. But of course, Greg acquitted himself beautifully on short notice. He managed to prepare himself and performed superbly for the fans in Japan, and thankfully it's been recorded and is brought to you in this set, and it's just fantastic, along with some nice little surprises that some of you may not be aware of, but we'll take you through that in a moment. The concert was somewhat controversial at the time, given the circumstances with John Wetton temporarily departing the band to return later. But I honestly believe that in time the Asia and Asia era has been accepted by the fans and has become part of the accepted discography, and just another chapter in this ongoing saga that has been Asia over all of these years. It's just fantastic to have this. Now, just as a little preview into what's coming early in the new year, late January, early February, Asia will be firing up again to go on tour. They're doing a preview show in the UK and I believe 10 dates in Japan to celebrate the Asia and Asia concerts. I will have a link in the description below for the originalasia.com website where you can find information about those shows. The lineup is, of course, Jeff Downes, founding member of Asia, on keyboards, John Mitchell on guitar. John, of course, for those of you who are Asia fans, would know that he was a longtime member of not only John Wetton's solo band, but also the Wetton Downes Icon project. Virgil Donati, who is renowned to be one of the best drummers in the world, also played with John in one of the later tours for the band UK in the early to mid 2010s. And on vocals and bass is newcomer Harry Whitley. Harry first made a splash with the Asia community in the summer of 2023 when he performed alongside Jeff and John Mitchell at the John Wetton An Extraordinary Life Memorial Concert, which of course was a massive success. When they added Virgil in 2024, they did the Heat of the Moment tour through the United States, sold out shows everywhere. They just tore the roof off the place. The band was on fire. They performed a couple of shows earlier this year in 2025, playing the Trading Boundaries venue in the UK, where the band performed all three of the original Geffen albums from the early 1980s, of course Asia, Alpha, and Astra. They then went on to tour Japan and also performed at a music festival in Italy. And they plan to be back next year. More dates are apparently in the work, so can't wait to see them. In the meantime, please sit back. Oh, before I forget, I should also mention that not only are there live releases coming for the three concerts from the Trading Boundaries venues with Asia, Alpha, and Astra beautifully recorded live, but the four men are also working on a brand new Asia studio album, which I'm led to believe will also be heavily influenced by some of the very last demos between Jeff Downes and John Wetton before John's untimely passing. So a lot to look forward to in the new year. So in the meantime, please sit back and relax. I'm going to take you through an unboxing of this entire set. It's a magnificent package, and if you don't have it already, I highly recommend that you pick it up and make it part of your collection. Again, I'll put purchase links in the description down below. Thanks again for watching, folks. It's always a privilege to bring these videos to you. And stick around, we'll take a look at Asia and Asia. And here we go with the Asia Live at the Budokan Tokyo 1983 box set from BMG. Beautiful Roger Dean cover, of course the iconic Asia logo. The list of the four men involved: Jeff Downes, Steve Howe, Greg Lake, and Carl Palmer. Quick peek around the sides. There's the back. There was an advertising label here that we will show you in a moment. Of course, it's the MTV satellite telecast to America, 6th of December 1983. There's also some extra music included. We'll talk about that shortly. Open up the nice hard cardboard box. The red label is the hype sticker that was stuck to the front. I always like to hold on to these things, as all of the contents. Here's the advertising label that was affixed to the back of the box. Beautiful display of all the contents, of course. First little box contains a little metal pin. Take a look at it here. And what else would it be but Roger Dean's iconic Asia logo. The second little box contains all the paperwork. First up is a replica of the backstage pass. A couple of picture cards. Some of these were used as promo photos at the time. And the next item in the package is an advertising flyer for the various video formats the concert was released in: VHS tapes, beta tapes, and CED stood for the RCA Selectavision video disc, which was a precursor to Laserdiscs. A couple of replica tickets. That's from the MTV Satellite Broadcast concert. Show on the 8th. A couple of posters, of course, Roger Dean's fantastic artwork. That's the artwork that adorns the box set, of course. And they were promoting the Alpha album at the time in 1983. Another wonderful poster from Roger Dean with the album artwork. Up next is the vinyl. Now, a special note for the audio included in this release is that all the audio has been remastered and remixed. Unlike many of the other releases over the years, this has a beautiful remix and the sound has never sounded better. And also included are two very special tracks that were not in the original broadcast, Cutting It Fine and Daylight. Unfortunately, they're not included on the Blu-ray video, but they are on the vinyl albums and the CD. White vinyl, side 1 and side 2. Heavy duty vinyl, sounds fantastic. Sides 3 and 4 are presented on beautiful yellow vinyl. Take a quick peek at the labels here as well. And again, BMG has done a fantastic job. Everything here is top-notch, high quality. You will not be disappointed. I don't spend as much time around vinyl as I should. Sometimes I have a little bit of difficulty getting things back in their package. And for me, this was the jewel in the crown. A fantastic book outlining the entire history of the concerts. Quick look at the back. Again, some of Roger Dean's beautiful artwork. Gorgeous photos of the band's time in Japan. Little shameless plug for the author of the liner notes. They desperately wanted to get the rights to include the Road to Budokan documentary, but sadly in the end they were simply not able to obtain them. Here's a great selection of memorabilia from the time, including, I believe that was from my personal collection, the MTV ballot for people who actually want to get into on the contest to travel with the band to Japan for these shows. Also included are some photos from rehearsals. This was, I believe, the cover of the Japanese tour program that year. This item here is also in my collection. It's just a promotional flyer. Included dates that the band were to have played in 1984 but were eventually cancelled. Paperwork from the master tapes for the Budokan recordings. Pictures of a number of releases. Here's the Laserdisc, of course, videotape up there. Just really cool to see this stuff. More of Roger Dean's designs. Some great live photos from the concerts. And we'll set the book aside. Down below we have the Blu-ray of the concert. Again, this is from a remixed audio. Sounds absolutely fantastic. And just so you're aware, no other releases that I'm aware of has this remixed audio. And since it was the actual MTV broadcast, it does not contain the bonus tracks. Those are audio only. In addition to the Blu-ray, which has the video of the performance, there are 2 CDs. This one here was the earlier show that was recorded as a backup that included Cutting It Fine and Daylight. Again, this is just the audio of that performance. Once more, the remixes are not available in any other release to my knowledge. And this is the remixed audio from the Blu-ray, from the actual MTV performance. Includes Cutting It Fine and Daylight, but again only in audio. And that's it, folks. We'll reverse the process and return everything back to its package. The amazing book, which for my money is worth the price of purchase. Vinyl, sounds absolutely fantastic. Metal pin, all the paperwork. Advertising label and sticker. Put the top back on. And there we go. Again, purchasing information is available in the video description, and thanks for watching, folks.